Okay, today we're going to do 8.3a. In class we did a video, and so you should have filled this part out. Okay, but just remember positive, negative, zero slope, and no slope or undefined. Okay, so the key to doing slope, which I'll show you the graph in a minute, is to remember you do rise over run. So rise is up and down over side to side. Okay, you do up and down first. Up and down goes on the top, side to side goes on the bottom. So the change in y over the change in x. Okay, it's also called vertical change over horizontal change. All these things are the same, it's just said differently. Okay, so it's what's going to change vertically over what's going to change horizontally, which I'll show you. It'll make more sense in a minute. So when you're finding slope from a graph, that means in a minute I'm going to show you a graph and you have to find the slope of the line. You find 2 points on a line that are integers. Okay, so I'll show you here in a minute. I found them for you already in these first few. Okay, you want to see exactly where it crosses. You don't want it to be at 1/2 and 3/4. It's like at 5-3. Okay, start at one point and go up or down first, then go right or left to get to the next point. Okay, so we're going to go up and down and then right and left. Okay, so on your graph, these dots are not there. Put them there because I made these graphs and they might not cross exactly where I wanted them to cross. And so the first, you just need to do 2 of these points. You don't have to do all 4 of them. I don't care which 2 you do, you'll get the same answer. But like this first point we're going to use is at 1, 2, 3, is at the point 3, 3. Okay? And this next one's at the point 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 6. Okay, so put whatever points you want. Just go ahead and you can pause it and just go ahead and put all of them in there and count them and all that stuff. Okay, so what we're trying to do is to come up with the steepness. So we know right away when we look at this graph, it's going to be what? Puff, puff, positive, because it's going up and to the right. So we know it's going to be positive. Okay, but when we go, let's say we're going to pick this point. You do not have to pick this point. You can pick any point that crosses integers that you want. So if we go from this point, and we want to get to this point, but you have to do it by making kind of a triangle. We're going to go up, 1, 2, 3. So that's up, 3. And then we're going to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're just counting over, okay? And remember, to the right is 5. Let me change my pencil because that's writing too thick. Remember, up is positive and to the right is positive. Okay? Let me write that down. Up and right are positive. Don't forget this. Down and left are negative. Okay, so remember it needs to be rise over run. So this slope for this answer would be 3/5. That's it. Okay, now some of you are saying, well, what if I use a different point? That is fine, as long as the 2 points cross evenly, which on your paper they will. Okay, I was just trying to make it. So let's say we picked these 2 points, and let's say we went from the top one to the bottom one, okay? So you still do the up and down first. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So -3 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see how you're making this triangle? Okay, you're making a triangle here. Okay, you can't do the shortcut. So -3, and this is to the left, so it'd be -5. So -3 over -5 is really what? +3/5. Yes, you need to rewrite it as +3/5. Okay, now you could have gone all, I'm not going to do this for all of them, but I'm just wanting to show you this on this example. You could have gone from, let me pick a different color, this point all the way to this point, or this point to this point. It's just that you'll end up reducing. Okay, and hopefully I can read it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So positive 6 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Positive 10. So which is 6 over 10, which reduced down is 3 over 5. If you'd gone the other way, it would have been negative 6 over 10. So the key, negative 6 over negative 10. Okay, so the key here is to pick 2 points that hit in the corner of the boxes. Okay, you want it to be an actual point, not a half of a point, an actual integer point. Okay, and then you go up and down first, and then right and left. Up and down, then right and left to find the slope. Okay, so it's kind of the opposite of what you do to plot a point. Okay, so on the rest of them, I'm not going to do all of those. Okay, you could again gone from the bottom one to the top one, you can go any way you want, you should get the same answer. Okay, now this one right away we can tell it's going to be what kind of slope? Okay, well it's nice negative, right? So we picked 2 points that cross evenly, or they came close to crossing evenly because I made them. Okay, and we're going to go up and down first. Okay, so let's go from this point, to this point down here. So we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So negative 7 over 1, 2, and it's to the right 2. So positive 2. So negative 7, positive 2. You always, remember, put the rise and run on the top. So negative 7 over positive 2. This is where people get confused. So this can also be written, remember, as just negative 7 over 2 or 7 over negative 2. It doesn't matter because that's what we'll do here. Let's go from this one to this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 2. 1, 2. Negative 2. My triangle got a little off there. Okay, so that one is the 7 over negative 2 that you see right here. It doesn't matter. You only have to do one. You could even go from the bottom all the way to the top. It's fine. Okay, so the slope there is negative 7 over 2. Okay, so when we look at this one again, this slope is not as steep, so the slope is going to be smaller, and it is puff positive. Okay, so we know it's going to be positive to start. Okay, so we're going to go up. We're only going up 1 on this one. To the right, so that's plus 1, and to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 8. So 1 over 8. Okay, let's say if you went this way, you would have gotten negative 1, gone down negative 1, and over negative 8. So it would have been negative 1, negative 8, which in the end would have given you 1/8. So that's the slope on that one. Okay, now moving on to this next one. Again, you can pick any of the points. If we go down 1, and so that's minus 1, and then we're going to go to the right, 1, 2, 3, so plus 3. So it's going to be negative 1/3, because when we look at it, it's nice negative. As you're going down the hill, it's easier. Okay, then this is the same as negative 1 over 3 or 1 over negative 3, either way. Okay, so we could have gone from this one to this one. It would have been positive 1 over negative 3. Okay, sorry, I had to go get something out of the oven. Okay, so this answer would be negative 1/3. Now, one thing I do want to say here, because I see now that none of my examples give it. If you end up with something that is up 5 over 1, you can write it like this, or you can write it as just 5. Okay? If you have something that's 2 over 1, you can just write it as 2. Okay, if you have something that is 5 over 15, whoops, then you need to reduce it to 1/5. Okay, but if it's a whole number, you can leave it as a whole number over 1 or just a whole number. Which when we use this to graph, we need to remember that a whole number is over 1. Okay. Okay. Now this one, remember, there's nothing to count here really. Okay. Remember our horizontal. Remember when he went puff puff positive, nice negative, and then this is no fun. I mean, this is 0 fun. Sorry, I totally said it wrong. Okay, so the slope here is 0. That doesn't mean there isn't a slope. It's an actual number. It is 0. Okay, and the way that is, when you have this horizontal line here, the only thing that's changing is your, well, we'll talk about that later. Okay, so over here's your vertical line. Okay. And remember, the worst word in math language, okay, is undefined. So remember, he fell off the cliff, undefined. It might also be said as no slope. Some books say no slope, some books say undefined, okay? Those are just ones you just have to remember, and hopefully Slope Dude will help you remember that.